I used to think that adventure meant travelling vast distances into the unknown, often dangerous, never boring. I'd had my fair share of adventures to the far-flung corners of the world. And certainly beaten the path less travelled. Adventure just seemed to fall in my lap. Fatherhood, whilst being an adventure in itself, has forced me to reevaluate what adventure means to me. I'd certainly seen large chunks of the world, but often overlooked what was right in front of me. After my 5th trip of the summer, it dawned on me that I'd done more exploration of my own backyard than I ever had. Better still, my son had all of this to look forward to. He would one day come with me. To him, this is my legacy. What's up everybody, it's Justin here with All Things Outdoors, and it is April 22nd, 2018, and usually by this time of year we've made a fire at home and we're pretty cold, but today it's a balmy 27 degrees, so I thought I'd take the opportunity to get one last little paddle trip in. Unfortunately it's not an overnighter, I don't have enough time to do an overnighter, but we're going to do a very short stretch of the King River, which is probably not the best thing to do this time of year because the water's very shallow, as there's been no rain lately, actually for quite a few months, so the water level's very low and this section of river's got a lot of logs in it, so I might spend more time out of the kayak than in it. It's only 3 kilometres, but it's going to be a hard 3 kilometres. But it'll be fun nonetheless. So I remember the first kayak camping video that I did, kayak camping on the Ovens River, I was talking about an adventure doesn't have to be a big long trek to some far off remote place, that you can actually have a pretty cool secluded remote feeling and a feeling of adventure in your own backyard. Well, needless to say, this is absolutely my backyard, because what I'm doing is I'm launching from the Oxley Reserve and I'm paddling down to Oxley, where I'll actually be able to take my kayak out of the water, put the wheels on it and wheel it back to my house. My house is only about 100 metres from the river, so can't get any more backyard than that. deepest part of the river, and it's all of about 10 inches deep, I reckon. So today, considering that this stretch of the river is going to be shallow and full of logs, I've decided to go for the lighter, more nimble kayaks to fish Barracuda kayak that I've had for a couple of years now. On all of my kayak camping trips, I've used the Dace Pro Angler, but this one is much shorter and therefore a bit more nimble and easier to turn, because it's going to be a few twists and turns to navigate. But should hopefully be a fun little stretch of river. It's going to be a challenge, so I'm going to have to watch every bit that I paddle through. The bottom is very clear though. It's quite a sandy bit of river, this one, the King River. So hopefully I should see if I'm going to run aground or not, just like that. And considering it's shallow, it's quite hard to get a decent bite of the paddle. Oh, we're running aground. And I don't have the rudder to help me steer like I do on the Dace, so I'm going to have to do a lot of paddle steering. But that's alright, it turns nice and quickly. So let's get into it. Come on, baby. Run aground. Not even 100 metres in, and I've run up on a log. My apologies in advance, folks, if this turns into a hiking video and not a kayak video. So I could potentially spend a bit of time walking here. Alrighty, I've done about 200 metres and this is the first log jam that covers the entire river. So I'm going to have to get out and pull over this big log that's fallen in. Right. That one wasn't too bad. Run aground. Well, that one was relatively okay, but up ahead we have got an almighty big lump of wood covering the river. Got a few log dams to get through before I even get to it. That thing is huge. Oh, there's a little beach there we can pull up on. Wow, this could be interesting. Might have to go and scout this one out. Maybe I can bring it up through here and go onto that little beach down there. Let's try that. Made it. Now there's another one. Well, as well as using the Kayaks to Fish Barracuda today, I'm running extremely light. All I've got on board is camera gear, a couple of bottles of water, some batteries, and my little set of wheels that I made, so that when I get back to the township, I can put my wheels on and just drag the kayak up to the house. So hopefully if this trip isn't too bad, I can do it again sometime. Because I've paddled up the other direction from the bridge which is on the other side of the township, and That was only 300 or 400 metres, and I spent more time out of the kayak than I spent in it, dragging around trees and logs and log jams. So hopefully this stretch pays off. Then I might go further up and do more parts of it. Well, looks like we're going to have to drag over this little spit here unless I can manoeuvre through. It's quite shallow, so wish me luck. Get past that massive tree, and this little tree here stops me. Alright, time to drag. I know it's been a kind of a struggle, but I'm having fun. I didn't expect the weather to be so nice at this time of year, so you might as well soak it up, even if the depth of the river's not even halfway up to my knee. But we're having fun. So my paddle lanyard just snapped, and I take it my paddle has gone off downstream somewhere. We better go and find it. Where is it? Well, it can't go that far because there's a dirty great big log jam up here that it couldn't get around. Seem to be having a lot of trouble with with paddles lately. Maybe it fell off when I was dragging the kayak around that little tree back there and I didn't notice. I was too busy trying to frame up some nice shots and wasn't paying attention. This makes things more interesting. It's definitely warm. The water's not too bad either. We haven't had a lot of rain, so it's hasn't flushed a lot of water out of the mountains. We haven't had any snow as yet. Oh, there might have been a little bit of a dusting up in the mountains, but nothing too bad. So the water is quite nice. Right, where's this damn paddle? If only this river was called Kit Creek, because I'd be up it without a paddle. Literally. Oh, I think I've spotted something. Crisis averted. I found it. At least it's not broken like my last paddle was. Yeah. we'll just have to keep more of an eye on this thing from now on, now that the paddle lanyard snapped. Just adds to the fun. Whole thing snapped off. Oh no, it's not snapped. I can just put it back in the little toggle there and tighten it back up. Let's see how that goes. Look at that. Good as new. Onwards. Yeah. For about 50 metres until we have to drag again. I'm sweating up a storm. I'd even have to have a swim at the end. Maybe. Not that brave. But I am getting wet. Ooh, this one might be a bit interesting to get around. Very interesting. We're going to do this plug out here on the right hand side. What's this situation? Well, it'd be difficult to get across it midstream because of all those other smaller trunks, but maybe we're better off going up the bank and around the top of it, because there's a bit of a beach over there. I don't know whether you can see that, but it's going to be a struggle getting up that. So we better stop messing around and get to it. So much easier to drag the kayak when it's got nothing in it. Right. So we need to go straight down here and then have to get back out again. Or possibly not, we could possibly go over the back there. But then we've got to navigate that next tree down there. I think we'll be alright, we'll go down to the beach. It's an adventure! Right, we're back in. Now hopefully we can get past these other next little obstacles without having to get out again. Oh yeah, one down. Oh yeah. I wonder if we can't slip under this big trunk, because this looks like the deeper side of the river. Let's try it. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Come on! Oh, shallow, shallow, shallow! Ah, yes! Yes! Whew. I think that went in our favour, getting that sort of bird's eye look when we were dragging around the top of that tree through the paddock there. We're able to see all the deep parts of the river and get the right course before we even got to it, so it wasn't such a bad thing. Speak of the devil, here we go again. Right, we might be able to do a midstream crossing with this one. Maybe. Oh, it's kind of thick. I don't know if I'll be able to get out and get up on top of it. Oh well, we've got a beach to pull up on, we'll use that. Oh, you might be able to shoot the gap here and go through that and pop it in just down there. Alright, let's try it. Are we kayaking or are we bush bashing? That should help. Kevin and Shane, this is how you do it. Oh, ooh, that's close. Get out of it. There we go. All right, other one down. Okay. Whoa, speed bump. Well, this is a new kind of log jam coming up here. We've got a whole heap of willow trees that are growing in the riverbed. And this is going to be a hell of a thing to try and get through. Because you look at those steep banks. We might just have to plough straight through the middle of it and see a gap. The water's kind of deep here too. Well, that sucks. The one time I want it to be shallow and it's deep. Oh, hang on. We might be in luck. Yeah. It's just hard to see. So many trees in the water. Let's see if we can get it through like this. Right. Ah, crap. Righto, we're gonna have to get out now. Wasn't too bad though. Oh, getting deep again. Right, how are we gonna get through this bit? Let's see. Let's see. Come on now. There we go. Whew. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. Working hard for the money. What money? I'd love to get paid to do this, but righto, out we go, again. Out again. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Gonna have abs of steel after this. So I found a half decent stretch of unobstructed water so I can actually talk to it. And then I forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, getting back to the adventure in your backyard thing I was talking about. It doesn't have to be a long trip or an overnighter or anything either. Like, you can come out for a couple of hours in the afternoon and do what I'm doing here. You get that secluded feeling. We're having plenty of adventure, having to work out how to traverse these logs and get through shallow water. And we're seeing parts of our own backyard that we've never seen before. I mean, I said this on the Ovens River kayak camping trip that I'd been within probably a kilometre of that whole stretch of water thousands of times in my life, but never ever seen it. And it's the same with this stretch. I mean, I've lived near this stretch of water for years now and never seen it. So it's a classic advertisement to get out and see your local waterways, explore them, make note of them. Then you can bring your friends and family back too, and they can enjoy it. I mean, this trip here is probably a little bit more arduous than the sort of paddling that I've done before, but it is highly satisfying. I think an ant's biting me. One of the numerous logs I've had to cross, no doubt picked up some ants. Look at the size of this puppy. That left-hand bank looks like the go. It's almost like a beaver dam. The water's really deep here behind it. And no, there are no beavers in Australia, if you're wondering. Oh, there we are, tight again. Whew, that was hard work. We made it. How far until the next obstacle? This is fun though. I like the challenge. I don't have a whole lot of sunlight left though, so I've got to keep a cracking pace up, which is kind of hard when you have to get out all the time. Ooh. This log is super muddy. Hope I don't slip getting back in. Alright, this could be a delicate operation. We've done it before. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright. to get back out again. Oh crap. There's an even bigger one on the other side of that one too. Looks like we're going to have to drag around. Well, maybe not. Still think we're going to have to drag around there. Midstream it. Let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to get out. I wonder if I'd poke my nose up in there. Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do that either. Oh, what the heck, let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. Oh, you're going to have to lock down. Yeah. Once again. Yeah. Right. Hopefully that's it for a little bit. That was a pretty good log jam that we got through there. We didn't even have to touch dry land. I'm the king of midstream crossings. You just gotta laugh. Look at this. We might be able to get through. Certainly test out the turning skills, that's for sure. Right, cut. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Down it goes. Zoop. Oh, that branch is in a handy spot. Out. That sucker there, just use it to go and swing through. Only they were all like that. Okay, onwards. Did I mention it was very, very late in summer and that we haven't had any rain for probably 3 or 4 months? Which should mean that this river should be at its lowest ever point. See, you can go pretty much anywhere if you're prepared to do a bit of work. We've got to be getting close. That winery that I passed back there was 1 block back from where I'm taking out, so can't be much further. And the good thing is I've paddled to that takeout before, but in the opposite direction, so I know what it looks like, I think. This rope swing's never going to snap. Check it out. It's a chain. Right, if you remember at the start of the trip I said that I had to, once I got the take out, I had to drag my kayak back to my house, which is a few hundred metres away, and I mentioned I had a set of wheels. Well, these are the wheels that I made. Just probably about $15 worth of material, and what actually happens is these two bits of PVC pipe here plug into the scupper holes at the back, so when you're not using them you can stow them like this upside down, and all you've got to do is plug them on the other side, pick it up and drag it home. So that's what I'm going to do now. There you have it. 3 kilometres from hell on the King River, from the Oxley Rec Reserve to Oxley. So I hope it's as enjoyable for you guys as it was for me, because I had an absolute ball. Even though it looked like hard work, it was great fun. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit up the channel, there's plenty of other kayak adventure videos there. And as always, get out there and have a go yourself, guys. See you later.